Well, here comes a very exciting part of our night. We have 3 of the most premium college students from C3 College, Oxford Falls. They're all studying leadership and ministry. They've recently returned from a missions trip to Queensland and North New South Wales. Is up north? Yes. That's where they've all come from. It's going to be wild. Be prepared. Get back in your seats. Get comfortable, but not too comfortable because BJ Vink is going to shock you. Ladies and gentlemen, BJ Vink!
Hi guys. Hey, maybe don't clap for me yet. You don't know what I'm going to say. Maybe just hang on a minute. Are there any Māoris in this place? Or sweet, I'm from New Zealand, so I thought it would be appropriate to open up what I'm about to share with a karakia, which would be a prayer. So if you can close your eyes, I'm going to say this prayer in Māori, and then I'm going to try and translate it for you in English. Okay, go. E te atua ho mai ki a mātou o tēnei ahi te kaha me te maramatanga, aki, amini. And I'm going to try and translate that for you. No, I'm not actually. I can't remember the translation for that. So pretty much that's just blessing what I'm about to say to God. And who's excited about that? Turn to your neighbour, give them a shake and say, "This is going to be awesome!" I like that. Hey, turn with me to Matthew 16. I don't have long, so I'm going to get straight into this. I'm going to talk really, really fast. You listen? Okay, good. Awesome. Hey, so when Jesus came into the region of Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, "Who do you say that I am, the Son of Man?" So they said, "Some say John the Baptist, some say Elijah, and others say Jeremiah or one of the prophets." He said to them, "But who do you say I am?" Simon Peter answered, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." Jesus answered and said to him, "Blessed are you, Simon, Bar Jonah, for flesh and blood have not revealed this to you, but my Father in heaven. And also I say to you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell will not overcome. And I will give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loose in heaven." Who likes that? I want to encourage you tonight with this word, because you know what? You and I, every single person in this place is called to be a church person who's actually going to start and help build the house of God. You see, I was just this mantra of a kid, believe it or not. I didn't have a lot going for me. I'm from New Zealand, if you can't pick that up. And I grew up in New Zealand, and I didn't have a lot going for me. In fact, I dropped out of school. I just didn't have a lot going for me. But you know what? God sees past all your flaws. God sees what He wants you to become. And He says, "I'm going to make you somebody who's going to do something big for me. You're going to be a man of influence." You know what? I stood there. And I believe that God said to me, I encountered Jesus. Jesus said to me, "Who do you say I am, BJ?" For every single person in this room, who do you say Jesus Christ is? If you say He is the Son of God, then you need to help us build this community called Change. I want to tell you why this is so important. Because every single person is called to take a step out of their place that they're in to help us build this thing. This is not just one person's job. Every single person has been called to help build the community that God calls church. He calls Peter. He called me. I said, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." Jesus said, "BJ, on you, I'm going to build my..." I went out to plant 2 primal youth churches under Steve Burgess. Who knows Steve Burgess? Awesome. Who likes him? Sweet, I won't tell him. Sweet. So I planted these 2 primal youth churches, but I never thought that was possible. I did this because I believe that God was calling me to be bigger and better. I believe that God looks at every single one of us and He sees what we're going to become, not what we are right now. And this is always a process. This is always a journey. But I want to encourage you with this thing. I want to encourage you with the next point I want to talk about is love. Because Jesus said in Matthew 22:37-40, "You must love God and love others." All the other things in the Old Testament, all the law that the prophets spoke, all swing on these 2 commandments. Now I think Change need to take love to the next level. I think we, instead of just talking about this, actually need to get up out of our seats and start to act on this. We need to get so hungry, so passionate that we want to see this thing grow. Why am I saying this? Because I believe that we need to take the next step to love. You know, there's people here tonight who it's their first time tonight. Maybe they've just come along. Maybe they've just heard about this thing, they've come along. I want to encourage every single person in this place. Why don't you break out of your cliques? Why don't you smash down the things that you do here at Change every week and say, I'm going to go to that person. I'm going to get their number. I'm going to meet up with them for coffee. I'm going to invite them to hang out with our group of friends. Because this is actually taking love to the next level. Listen to me, friends. I'm not telling you this because I believe that I've conquered the art of this. But I work so hard at it. I work so hard at it every day because I know that there's people who are dying, who are going to a place where they don't need to go. And in my heart, I know God calls us to build a community like Change. He calls us to invite people along. He calls us to connect with people outside of the church. And so we have to do that. We have to step out. We have to be bold. We have to be courageous. Because when we do that, we see something happen. And this could be scary for you. You know, when I first started connecting with people outside of the church, that was quite scary. You have to learn how to talk to people that don't have a revelation of Jesus Christ. But this is something that every single person in this place needs to learn in their heart. Because this is the people that Jesus used to hang out with. If you look right the way through the Bible, you find that Jesus was actually in places that you and I don't often go to. He did that because he realized that people needed a relationship with Jesus Christ. I don't know about you, but I lose sleep over the fact that there's people that I know, my friends, that are not going to spend eternity with me. There's people I know in my heart of hearts that I could reach out to, but I'm just a little bit scared. I'm a little bit shy. But God's not calling us to be like that. Every single day I break out, I'm like, God, I want to be somebody who connects with people that don't know you. I want to be somebody who doesn't just warm a seat in church, but I want to bring people to church to warm some more seats. I want to be a person who's so passionate that people catch a fire when they hang out with you. Why? Because you have a fire in your heart and that's starting to burn. You know, you've got to fan into flame the gift of God that's inside you. And you will see something happen. You know, Change. I don't know. I've only just come here. I don't know you guys that well. But what I do know is that every single person is called to help us build this church. Build this community that we call Change. Every one of us comes here because we like it. We love coming to church. We love coming to worship God. But we need to be a people who say, man, I want to do that. I want to help these guys build this church. Maybe you're not called to be a pastor, and I totally understand that. Not every single person is. But you know, if you believe that Christ is the Son of God, then you have to build this church. Why? Because he called Peter into that place. I want to tell you guys tonight, I went out, planted 2 Primal Youth Church, the most amazing experiences I've ever done. But it was only because I said, God, yes, I'm willing. I want you to use me. Every single person in this place needs to get their heart into that zone where they submit over to God. And they say, God, I want you to use me. Do something in my world. I just want to close up now, and I just want to talk for 30 more seconds, actually, while Johnny's looking at me saying 30 more seconds. Love you, Johnny. A lot of love there, eh? If you ever get a chance to have a hug with me, go on, do it, because there's a lot of love in a BJ sandwich, all right? And I know many of you ladies would like to push your face against this beard here. Hey, been growing that for you guys. After Change, you can have the privilege of that. In fact, I'm just going to leave you with that. Who do you say Jesus is tonight? Is he the Christ, the Son of the living God? You know what? He wants to build a church on you. He's calling you into that place. Why don't you take the step? Say, God, there's people I know I can impact. People I know whose worlds I can change. You guys are awesome. That's me done.
I love you, BJ. A lot. I think BJ is great. I think if Winnie the Pooh had attitude and had a love child with Abraham Lincoln, you'd get BJ. I mean, let's give BJ another round of applause.